What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 6. In Japan, this movie was known as Great Monster War, and it was released as Invasion of the Astro Monster, or eventually Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, which I kind of like the ring of. Let's go. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Jared Fearing. I'm a lifelong Godzilla fan and a big fan of Halloween. And nothing says Halloween like monster movies. So this year, for the month of October, we're going to review every single Godzilla movie, from Gojira all the way to Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. So join me this month for a new video every single day and see if I go insane in the process. Let's get to it. This is the second film in the franchise featuring aliens, and funny enough, it also features King Ghidorah, just like the last movie. However, it could not be more different. The aliens in this are prevalent throughout, whereas in the last movie, they're actually helpful and they possess the princess in order to help avert great disaster. Here, the aliens are the villains, and they are one of my favorite alien designs of all time, the Futurians. The leotard, the black head thingy with the antenna, the eye cover, amazing. I've always wanted to go as a Futurian for Halloween, and, you know, that will happen someday, I'm sure, but it hasn't happened yet, unfortunately. This is the second movie in a row that has a lot of sci-fi elements really being brought to the forefront. The aliens in this movie explain that they're basically androids and they're kind of governed by machines. It's interesting because, again, this kind of plays back into what we're seeing in our own world right now with the argument with AI maybe becoming some kind of a life form that is hard to control or doesn't like humans. Well, this paints a picture of a future where a race of essentially machines do in fact want to wipe out humans in a non-Terminator way. It's a little bit different, and this was in 1965, so obviously this is a little bit ahead of the time of the Terminator. The Futurian home planet is being raided by King Ghidorah, or so they say, and they live underground. The Martian planet effects are incredible, honestly. I really like them. And it starts off with two astronauts going on this trip essentially alone. That's a little weird. But they end up getting abducted by the aliens, brought into their underground cities, and the aliens tell them, "We're screwed, King Ghidorah's whooping our ass 24/7, please help us." They relay this information to Earth, and they say that they'll kind of think about it and we'll figure it out. The astronauts return home, only to find that the Martians are already on Earth. They have a convenient excuse about being too pressed for time and they couldn't wait for approval, but secretly they're there already taking control of the monsters Rodan and Godzilla, who we just saw fight King Ghidorah in the last movie. So it's a little bit of a rehash with the monsters, but goddamn do they make it good. The UFO design in this movie is maybe my favorite UFO design ever. It's the flying saucer shape, but they give it just enough detail to make it believable. And, you know, again, in modern events with the Tic Tac and the Go Fast videos, it's not that far-fetched to think that what we see in this Godzilla movie is kind of close to what we actually might have for real UFOs, if they are real and not some weird thing. That's a whole different video. Who knows? The aliens come to Earth because essentially they want our water. Also, that's kind of a plausible scenario. If we were to have someone invade Earth, what would they be here for? Probably our natural resources. So it's a pretty good storyline. And they're taking control of our most powerful monster, Godzilla, and Rodan, who whooped Godzilla's ass in the last movie, so that makes sense. And secretly, they've been controlling King Ghidorah the entire time. There's a bit of silliness with the storyline in that there is a toy maker, essentially, or an inventor, but he makes a toy alarm that has just an annoying sound that is super loud and penetrates super far. It turns out that this loud noise is just enough to completely discombobulate the aliens and make them useless. Where have we seen another movie where noise is the way that aliens are defeated? I can't quite remember. Something about Mars, but I'm sure I've seen it before somewhere. Once again, like the last movie, Godzilla and Rodan, no Mothra this time, they fight King Ghidorah once they're freed from the alien control. And they prevail. King Ghidorah is just such a great suit and such a great monster design. I cannot blame them for wanting to use it for the second movie in a row. And like I said before, I love this Rodan design. So more of this Rodan, the better. This Godzilla design is also probably, we're getting to the point where it's like my favorite in the series. This and the next movie, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, are probably my favorite Godzilla designs. This is one of the few Showa era movies that features an American actor. It features Nick Adams, who honestly I think is great in the role that he plays as one of the astronauts. He has a romance unknowingly with one of the aliens. It's actually a really good sci-fi storyline, and he does a great job with the role. The tragedy is that just 3 years after this movie, Nick Adams passed away due to an accidental overdose. He was friends with James Dean and Elvis in real life, and it's pretty sad because all those people were high profile and died in tragic ways. I really enjoy the human story in this movie, which is quite rare for the overall series. And the monster effects are great, the alien effects are great. Like I said, the Futurian design is my favorite, maybe ever, of aliens. And for all those reasons, I highly recommend this movie. It's really enjoyable in the canon of Godzilla films, and this is where we start to get into Godzilla really being a protector of Earth as opposed to being a force of nature and destruction. So I highly recommend it. Be sure to check out Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. As always, mention in the comments down below what you think of Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. Like, subscribe, be sure to check out the other things we have on our Firing channel, from scripted content to documentary, and I'll see you next time for what are maybe my 2 favorite Godzilla films in a row. Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster and Son of Godzilla. I can't wait to talk about those two. So I will see you next time on Godzillatober. Thanks for watching.